that right land where we'll never go. And someday on earth we'll never go longer, but walk on streets that of purest gold. Don't be discouraged, disappointed or lonely. I'm not disheartened, I'm heaven bound. Playing for a pilgrim in search of that sweet city. I thought of mansions of all my own. I thought of mansions just going gold. In that bright land where we'll never go. And someday we'll never wander, but walk on streets that of purest gold. And walk on streets that of purest gold. God sent His Son. They call Him Jesus. He came to love, heal and forgive. And now I'm going tormented and tested of heaven. I'm heaven bound. I've gone a mansion just going glory. In that bright land where we'll never go. And someday on earth we'll never wander, but walk on streets that of purest gold. Life is easy when you're up on the mountain and you've got peace of mind like you never known. But when things change and you're down in that valley, don't lose faith for you're never alone. For the long mountain is to go in the valley. When things go wrong, and they will, He'll make them right. And the God of the good times is to walk in the bad times. The God of the day is the God in the night. You talk of faith when you're up on the mountain. Oh, the talk comes easy when one says best. So it's down in the valley. Oh, causing temptations. That sweet faith is really put you a test. Oh, all is the God in the night. Yes, the God of the grave is the God in the night. Praise the Lord. Everybody happy tonight? Yes. Happy in the Lord? Okay, well, first of all, let's take some prayer requests, praise reports.
I want everybody to remember, I promised my neighbors that I was at their house. There were a few houses down the road in these early 80s, I think it is. And I know he died of life after lung cancer. And the hospice people got her now. He's not going to do this on Queens Road. And remember that, I thought about that all day, that bus wreck where there was 49 senior citizens over in France. And 41 of them got killed. The truck hit them head-on collision, the bus caught on fire. But 8 of them, I think 7 or 8 of them got out, which I know is really hard on the family. Said it was the worst tragedy that's happened in 30 years on the roads over in France.
We also got the, what's been categorized as the worst hurricane in the Western Hemisphere, going toward Mexico. If it hadn't already hit.
Guys on the stage right now.
If it's what they say it is, it's going to be a monster, or it is a monster. So pray for those people. Hope they got enough warning to get out before this thing hits. Anything else?
I have a praise report. I lived in my house 2 years and I don't have any heat. And my church, following the Spirit of God, is putting a furnace in my house on Monday, doing God's word. And I'm so blessed. Praise God.
God always provides.
I thank God. He really saved us. We was coming over here. We was crossing Garrison. We was waiting on the light turned green. And I was just getting ready to go. And this car comes flying and just takes a turn. And barely misses us just a little bit. Yeah, a whole lot. Car was full of kids and everything in there. But I stopped. And God was in that. Took care of us.
He looks at it.
He does.
Does he give you that?
Just have to fast,
Anything good?
I just want to thank the Lord for working out my problems. I just started doing the Social Security check, and I got my first one. And about a week or 2 ago, I got a letter from the IRS saying I owed them some money. And I thought, what am I going to do? I called them up, and the woman said the made a mistake, had it all corrected. You don't have to pay it. So thank God for that. I've been walking, wearing out shoes, been doing a lot of walking, and I'm getting ready to get me a car and get back on the road. I had a driver's license. I just thank God that He's blessed me now.
Anything else? Let's go to the Lord prayer. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight. God, we just praise you and give you honor for who you are, what you are. And God, we just thank you that you are willing and able to step into the midst of your people, Father, and provide needs. And God, I pray for each and every one of these needs tonight, Father, and I thank you for these praise reports. God, I ask your blessing on these people in Mexico, on this family that's been mentioned, God, that needs healing. God, I just ask, Father, that you would step in, Father, with your healing anointing. God, and touch these people. God, I give you honor and glory. Father, I just ask that you would anoint these lips, Lord, to say what you have said. Lord, I can't do it, but I know you can. So, Father, just say what you have said, God, and we'll give you honor and glory for it in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Yeah, I want to take just a few minutes now. We're going to make it short. And I know there's a lot of good smells behind me. Everybody won't dig in. But anyway, you might, when I tell you my passion, I might say I'm a little early, but there's something here that I would like people to see. And you know, the Bible is just so rich. And you've got truths within truths, you got stories within stories, and you know, there's just a world of wealth in the Scripture. And tonight I'm going to pull some out of the Christmas story. Well, it's going to be a little early tonight, this time. But anyway, we're gonna see if we can bring out a couple things in it that might be something you hadn't heard. I don't know. If you have, you know how blessed it is. If you haven't, maybe you'll be blessed by it. Anyway, we're going to Luke chapter 2, and I'm going to read verse 10, 11, and 14. Just 3 verses. It said, and the angel said unto them, fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy. Remember that word tidings, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And verse 14, glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. If I had to put a title on the message tonight, it would be God's not mad. God's not mad. You know, all through the Old Covenant, people, or I should say God, got the credit for everything. You know, if it was good, you know, bless God. If it was bad, well, you know, I've done something wrong, or God's mad, or something like that. But he got credited with everything that happened. For the most part, there was no revelation of the enemy, of Satan and his devices. They just, you know, and because of that, you know, they just credited God with everything. But, you know, we found out, though, that when Jesus came along, that he gave the revelation of an enemy, one who was trying to stop his work, stop our work, stop the work of Christian church. And this is announcing, in verse 10, he says, the angel comes to these, this is the shepherd that's out in the field, and he says, fear not. Don't you notice that every time you hear God speak, you heard Jesus speak, you heard the prophets and the apostles speak, an angel speak, the first thing almost every time that come out of their mouth was, fear not. See, God don't want you to be afraid. But anyway, he says, fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. Notice this word tidings is plural. It's more than one. And a lot of times we just look over this as the Christmas story of Jesus' birth, which of course is the most important part of it. We had a Savior. He came, he lived, he died, he went to the cross, he rose again. But we sometimes get tied up and worked up in that, and we don't see the rest of it. So, anyway, God has always wanted a family. That's the reason, you know, he created us. He wanted a family. He wanted fellowship. He wants a relationship. He wants it to be a personal relationship. He wants to call us sons and daughters, and he wants us to call him Father or Daddy. Actually, if you come, it said we call him Abba, Father. That's Daddy. So it's a close, intimate, personal relationship God wants with us. He's always wanted that. But something got in the way in the garden, and it's called sin. So God couldn't, you know, he couldn't bless his children really like he wanted to. He couldn't have that personal relationship because of sin. So he made ways in the Old Covenant where, you know, sacrifices for sin was made, blood was put on the altars, and he accepted that. But, you know, the New Covenant says that in the fullness of time, God brought forth his Son. And that Son was to be where it says the propitiation of sin. In other words, it's complete, total. He has eradicated it as far as God's concerned. And he wanted us to know that, even from the beginning. So to go on just a little bit in verse 14, it says, glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. This is why God is not mad. It says, glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. What's this talking about? Well, it can't be peace on earth, because there's never been peace on earth. They've been wars, and you know, it's just been horrible all down through the millennium. There's never been complete peace on earth, and never will be until Jesus comes for that 1,000-year reign. But what's he talking about here? He's talking about God has, because of Jesus, because he was born, because he came into this earth, he made peace with us. You know, in other words, God's not mad at that boy. He never was mad. He's always loved us. But, you know, but he's letting people know here that he's ready because of what Jesus is going to do to have a personal relationship with his children. And he said it here, peace on earth, goodwill toward men. That's not between men. That's from God to man. He's declaring goodwill toward men. He said, I'm ready to bless you if you will do, if you'll accept my son. I will bless you. I will look after you. I will love you. I will keep you in my arms and bless you. And, it's just, I have trouble wrapping my brain around this sometimes, just how good God is. A lot of times we take it for granted. We just accept him to be here when we need him. And, we need to worship him, and he deserves to be worshipped. He deserves to have our praise, our glory. God gave it all. He gave everything he had to us in the person of Jesus Christ. And all he asks in return is that we accept it. That we accept Jesus as our personal Savior. Because of that, he takes us up into his family. He makes us family. The word says in the New Covenant that he makes us heirs and joint heirs with God. We're joint heirs. Everything, we're inherited. And that's not sometime off in the future. That's when the best part comes, but that's now. We have an inheritance now. And we can tap into that inheritance. And it covers all of the covenant. We have a fivefold covenant. In spirit, soul, body, financial, social. And a lot of people make they criticize the financial part, but hey, God provides your need. They maybe criticize the personal part of it, but the word says he'll even make your enemies to be at peace with you. That's about as social as you get. Your enemies won't have that to do with what bother you. But anyway, that's fivefold covenant. He's given us all of that. And just freely given us all things that pertain to life and godliness through Jesus Christ. And again, we're going to make this short, but the thing that has stood out to me, I am a person who is moved by music. And music is a powerful tool. It rouses emotions. It'll convict you of your sins. If you got something that you need to get rid of, music will convict you of your sins. God uses it. And there's one song in particular. If you ever get an opportunity, if you've never heard Don Francisco, it's his name, and he's been declared really as a genius when it comes to taking biblical stories and making them into music and makes them just as simple, just as understandable as anybody can be. Here it is, the whole thing, up in a nutshell, that God's not mad. He says in one of his songs, and it's supposed to be Jesus speaking. He says, I don't care where you've been sleeping. I don't care who's made your bed. I've already gave my life to set you free. Ladies and gentlemen, we are free. If we will accept it, if we are the child of God, if we make Jesus Lord of our life, we are free. The word says, whom the Son sets free, you're free indeed. It says that you get liberty. Liberty. Jesus is liberty, and that means freedom. And you don't have to worry. You don't have to, be all upset. Jesus said, fear not, worry not, don't let your heart be troubled. We ought to be free and show that freedom to others, to the lost. Give them something, and that's been the fall of the church. In a lot of churches, they don't show the blessings of God. They don't show the love of God. And because of that, we get a lot of times a bad reputation. I'm just being honest with you. There's been many of them run off because of somebody who didn't like the way they dressed or the way they smelled or the way they fixed their hair or what they wore. That shouldn't be, folks. These people, there's only one way to look at the world, especially the lost world, and that is one whom Christ died for. If you don't take that attitude, you need to repent. Because that's what it's all about. These people are people whom Christ died for. But anyway, it goes on and says, there's no sin that you can imagine that's stronger than my love. And it's all yours if you just come to me. That's what he said. I mean, that's the gospel, is the gist of it right there. He don't care who you be. He don't care what you, and he'll take you just like you are. I mean, if you believe you have to straighten up to get saved, I'm telling you, in the world hurt, but you can't straighten up good enough to get God to save you without Jesus. Amen. He is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except by him. And Jesus went to the cross to take, this is from the top pulling out of another song, takes a filthy wretch. And I'm in that. Everybody was before they're saved. I mean, you might not think you were, but, sin. Doesn't matter what you do. Take a filthy wretch like us and wrap us up in the right standard with God. When we're born again and we're in the will of God, we're right with him. You speak, you pray, you ask. I say this in a simple way. God perks his ears up. He hears us. He promises that he'll hear us when we call it. If we would just stay right with him, keep our sins under the blood, and live the life that you're supposed to live, he's with us. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. Earth has, no man on earth has any sin that God can or won't forget. And that's another point I'd like to make strongly. A lot of people you hear all the time say, God can do this, God can do that. What happened to God will do? It's not that, he can, but the good news is he will. And he don't care who you are. If you just come to him, simple childlike faith, he will do it. There's hope for the hopeless. There's rest for the weary. You get to lay down your shame, and he'll break every chain that binds. Every chain. Jeremiah 29:11, even in the Old Covenant, said it like this. God tried to tell him back in, and won't listen. He said, for I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not evil, to give you an expected end. See, God wants to give us an expected end. Ultimately, the expected end is going to be heaven. But until then, we can expect, if we stay in the will of God, to be close to him, to have our needs met. And let's face it, folks, you've got to, you've got to have your needs met. If you're going to be a Christian and show something that the world hasn't got, you've got to be able to show them that you got something they don't. And the world they don't listen to a lot of stuff. They think they got the whole answer themselves. So we have to show them something that they don't got, they don't have. So that in a nutshell, it just sums up the whole gospel. Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and shall be saved in your house. They don't just stop at you. I heard a report, a statistic, went to a conference in Statesville last week, I guess it was the week before that, and went into a men's ministry class. If a man in the house is saved first, 93% of the time the whole house is saved. If a woman is the first one saved, it drops to, I think it's like 60 or 70% that, the whole house will be saved. If it's a child, one of the children gets saved first, it drops down to about 30-something%. So, the point being, men need to take their place. And, step up and take your place. 93% of the men who get saved first, their whole family gets saved. Amen. That tells you something. men need to step up. But anyway, you know, I just wanted to just take this minute. Yeah, there's somebody, you know, I don't want to, you know, step on anybody's throat. But I'm going to tell you something, folks, time is running out. Time is running out. It's not going to be a whole lot longer. You know, we're going to be here. Jesus is coming. You know, I tell you what, if this is not that season that he comes, I don't want to be here when he comes. I just want to go on. But if it gets any worse, I'm telling you, it's just awful. The world literally going to hell in a handball. You know, all the stuff going on, all the wars, women's war, all of the, you know, the sexual liberation stuff, and gender marriages and stuff like that. I think there's a tipping point, and I believe that gay marriage was the tipping point. You know, when you reach a certain point on a pivot, you go, you know, that far past that point, and it starts going over this way. Well, I think we just crossed that pivot point. So, you know, what I'm trying to say is that all that say this power is drawing near. You don't want to be here when the church leaves. I'll tell you that. You do not want to be here when the church leaves. So there'll be nothing but misery and pain. So I say it's the easiest thing just to get under the blood. Just get born again. Get saved. You know, live for the Lord. Make yourself a living sacrifice. Holy, acceptable unto God. Which is nothing more than your reasonable service. I'm doing reasonable service. It don't, you know, a few minutes here, a few minutes there, do this, do that, do a little activities at church. It's not my works, but, you know, because you love God, you do this. Man, I'll do it because I love Him. Because He loves me more than that. You know, it's one thing for me to love Him, it's something else that the God of this universe, Jehovah, He loves me. And He loves me enough to send Jesus.
Amen.
If you look at it that way, it makes you know, completely different. Completely different. So I'm saying tonight, if there's something you need to get right with God, I'm not asking you to come up here and tell me or tell anybody. You know, but if there's something you need to, you know, to get right with God, do it tonight. Tonight is tonight. Yeah, the word says today is today. Today is the day. What it says, it may not be a tomorrow. One way or another. May not be a tomorrow. Jesus may be here any second now. That's what our pastor likes to say. Jesus is coming any second now. And he says that, you know, every time about every time he speaks. And it's true. It can come any second. And more so, like I said, now than any time before. I mean, he can do it any time he wants to. You can't put God in the box. Every time you do, he'll get out. But anyway, Jesus is coming. We need to get right. If you're saved, if you're a child of God, get your, you know, anything that's wrong, get it under the blood. And let's go and do our thing for the Lord. If you haven't made Jesus Lord in your life, this is a good time to do. Like I said, it's getting close. And if you're not a Christian, as I said before, you don't want to be here when the church leaves. Amen. You don't want to be here. You don't want to meet that man that's coming up after the church leaves. You won't like it. You won't like it. But anyway, if you've never made Jesus Lord in your life, this is the day to do it. Now is the time. Don't put it off. Don't hesitate. Stand up with me. Every head bowed, every eye closed. If there is somebody here tonight who says, I need to make something right with God, all I'm asking is just where you're at right now, do it. Do it. Say, God, forgive me. I've done wrong. I may be doing wrong. I may be into something that's not pleasing to you. Forgive me. Make me right. Wash me in the blood. But then again, there may be one here tonight who has never done it, who has never asked for forgiveness. He said, you know, the word says, though your sins be as scarlet, it should be white as snow. If you want to be white as snow, just make Jesus Lord of your life, and He'll clean you up. He'll stand you up. He'll make you proud to be a Christian if you just trust Him. I'm going to pray now. I want you to do that. Just, you know, ask under your breath. I don't want to embarrass anybody else. Father, I thank you for this time we've had together. And God, I just ask, Father, that your word, as you promised, will not return to you, Lord. God, if there's any here tonight who don't know you, God, I ask that you would open the eyes of their understanding right now, that they would know their need for a Savior, and then they would make that decision to ask Jesus into their life. Father, if there's the others here, believers, if there's anything in their life that's not pleasing to you, Father, I just ask that you would get it out, cleanse it, wash it, Father. Take it away. We praise you and we thank you for it. And Father, I just ask that you would bless this food that we're about to take. We thank you, praise you for it, and ask your blessing by the prayer in Jesus' name. It's going to be an offering. If you want to give it, all to do the aggregate. Thank you for that.
Are you doing okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, are you? That's good. It's getting cold tonight.
Yeah.
It's chilly. Pretty bad down there.